Welcome to the stream. Hey! Oh, I haven't installed the camera for the drawing. Thank you so much, ArtHub, for stopping by anyway. I hope you will feel better. I have somewhere the audio on. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay. And you are hearing the music also through my microphone, I think. So, should all be better. Thank you, ArtHub. Have a good night. See you next time, I hope. I hope you will be feeling better. So, okay. So, we need the camera for the picture. I've prepared again. But let's talk first. Let me say hello first. So, hello. Thanks to everyone we have here. Games and Laney. Hey, welcome. Thank you very much for joining in the very beginning. We will be drawing. I already showed that, but it's in the thumbnail, so it's not like it is a big surprise. So, we will be drawing Sir Patrick Stewart today, who is an icon, and I think in this role also he is an icon. And so it is actually long overdue that I draw him, if you ask me. So I hope you think so too. Let's see. That is not. This is what I need. Okay. Hello, DM Sketching. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are all perfect and good today. I am pretty good, actually. I'm surprisingly good and well. I got a coffee, so that should be the only energy I need today. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Before I start, let me tell you directly, I also tweeted today about it. Now, finally, Buffy is available on a streaming service, and it is available on Disney Plus. So if you have Disney Plus, I encourage you to watch Buffy, but be aware that it is the HD version, which has a couple of shortcomings. They took the original stuff, the original recordings, and just put them in HD, and all the color grading, for example, that they did for the original show is missing there. So sometimes there are, and nobody corrected it, and nobody seems to want to even correct it, sometimes there are scenes that look like it's in the day, but in the story it's in night, because people had color graded it into a night scene. So it's on that regard it is terrible. If you have already seen it, why not? It's the best quality you will ever have it. So if you are a Buffy fan or not, watch it with us. With us means everybody watches by himself, like we do with everything in the quarantine anyway. But you watch the episodes, you come to the Discord, we will discuss a little bit there, and then in the live stream we will decide on the MVP of the episode, the most important character that I will then draw in the live stream next week Friday, and then we will discuss the episode and what we like, what we perhaps did not like, what holds up these days with an show that is already over 20 years, almost. I think next year it is 25 years old. So yeah, that's the plan. So if you want to join, come visit the Discord and we can discuss how it will all be going on. So yeah, let's begin. Let me see. We will go now to the drawing layout. So I'm a bit smaller. I'm not so important during drawing. And we will begin. We will be drawing Sir Patrick Stewart today, as I said, with the Cerebro helmet. So this is a kind of a dream come true, you would think. Of course, it has its own challenges again, but you have here no hair, I don't have to draw hair. You don't have teeth. You don't even have eyes. I'm a bit sad that it doesn't have eyes. Not having eyes is actually not a plus on my book. And it also has a lot of strange and it is interesting. That's one of the reasons why I want to draw it. Interesting light and shadow situation. So that's also not a minus. It is, for me, it is a plus. So this will be fun. So we will just enjoy it. And it will hopefully be just one stream. I don't have to draw hair, so we should be pretty quick. So let's see. Ini, welcome. Thank you very much for joining today. And Lee is here too. That is so great. Thank you very much for joining, guys. I'm so happy. I am. I can't show emotions. I'm emotionally impaired, so I mean it. And that's why I'm sometimes strange. So, Cameron, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Glad you can join. We'll start now. Let's start. And where is my pencil? There. So, how are you all today? Tell me. Hey, Koblinski. That sounds a bit aggressive. Ini, DM. So, let's start. I have prepared, again, as I said, as is now the custom, I prepare a little bit the boring parts, which are not that exciting to watch before, and that way we manage to normally by now draw one portrait per live stream, which means we are faster and we are quicker at the more exciting stuff. So if you don't have eyes to draw, that's fine. That's easier in a certain regard. But eyes also help you to make somebody look like himself. So we need to nail all the other stuff a little bit better if we don't have eyes that help us. I have the wrong pick out. That is true. And I also have not started recording. You are right. Thank you very much for telling me. I was actually thinking, do I manage to exchange it before I start drawing? I can do it when I start drawing, and then I forgot. So yeah. Let me quickly change our boy here to Patrick. See, bit smaller. There. Perfect. And now we should also start recording. That also helps. A bit more level. Perfect. Altron is a handsome boy, yeah, that's true. But we are drawing Sir Patrick Stewart today. No, he's a very charismatic actor, isn't he? I was so happy when he played. He's perfect for Professor X. There will never be a better Professor X. I'm not happy with what's his name. The young one they have casted. He's also a good actor, but he doesn't have this charisma for me that Patrick Stewart has, which might be because I was also a big Star Trek fan, because my father was a big Star Trek fan. So he is an icon for me. And he's just one of those, one of those so decent, you don't find a scandal surrounding him. No one even tried to make one up, or I've completely missed it. don't dig now all the scandals about him out of the closet. I want to keep liking him, so I'm fine with him not having any I'm happy with him not having any scandals, so who's the main squeeze? What do you mean, Cameron? James Avery, yes. Exactly. So yeah, he is good. He is good. He's probably I don't know who would be better, honestly. There is no name. It's just not Patrick Stewart, you know. It's good that they don't have just used this make him young look filter that they have used in other movies, also for Patrick Stewart. They work perfectly well, but you cannot do it to that degree. It would be funny if they would have taken him with such a young looking filter just on his face and giving him a wig or something. That would be fun. I would like to see that, but not in a movie. So we have a very harsh lighting situation here that will be interesting to draw. We will go very dark around the nose, and we have very light areas here, so that would be interesting to draw. I'm really looking forward to that. I should have already drawn in preparation. I could have already drawn in preparation the harsh shadow line actually, but I think it's actually more interesting to do it here in stream probably. So we have eyebrows somewhere around here. Yes, in a week. I would find it interesting. So we have the other eyebrow on this side. Here somewhere. I think that's kinda right. Okay, so I haven't even watched, as many of you guys watched the Picard series. I haven't started with it yet. There's so much stuff that the streaming services are creating, so I did not even start with it. I didn't even start with it. It could be interesting. I haven't watched. I started to watch Voyager actually because I just wanted. I don't like the series very much, but I just wanted to know the story one time, and then never have to look at it again. But I'm not sure if I should try to watch it to the finale without and then start with Picard, because I think 7 of 9 is starring in that series. I don't know. Sui Art Calligraphy, thank you very much for dropping by. Thank you for joining. How are you today? What if nobody of you have seen the series? You cannot tell me, right? try to draw in some of the shadows. I should have probably done this in the preparation. Next time I will do more shadow work in the preparation phase. One of these days I want to do the scribble art, you know. I've seen some people on YouTube drawing just big artwork just in those scribbles. Just starting somewhere, just scribbling in the end. It's really cool portraits. I really like that. Even better now, I get to watch while eating dinner. Yeah, take a break with us. What do we have for dinner? Anything exciting? So we have this shadow line here where we actually have a light and then again we have shadow, but it's pretty thin. Then we have a not really, so some of the shadows are quite symmetrical on the face, some of them not really, especially on the nose. We have here a shadow on the cheek. So if you have these harsh shadows, normally I don't draw shadows into my pictures before I start shading. The shadows come with the shading work, but if you have these harsh shadows, it can really help you to draw them in before. None of these lines will really stay there. You will erase them at some point so that they are gone, but with these harsh shadow lines, some of them might even stay there, but the point is still that you have the challenge with those lines that, of course, the shadows are influenced by the anatomy of the face of the people that you draw. So the way they fall is extremely important to show the structure of the face. And if they fall wrongly, especially those harsh lines, if this line is moved a centimeter or something up, it looks like he has an extremely long nose or something. So, and then it does not only look strange, it also doesn't look like Patrick Stewart anymore. So it becomes very important to get those right. So it is not a bad idea to draw them in first to see if you get the proportions again, they're also in the shadows right. Yeah, but I think those are the big shadows that we will be happy with for now. I probably might do something like that with additional shadows later, but I think you already almost have a little bit of resemblance in the line work we have done yet, so that's a good sign. Send me pics. That sounds a little bit suspicious. Where is the greyhound today, or how is the greyhound today? I am today on my desk, like every time. I am on my standing desk because still of some back pains, and also it is more healthy. So I'm sitting a lot of my day, so it is pretty healthy from time to time to just stand a little bit. So I'm standing at my desk with one of my favorite t-shirts. Can you read it? I like it. I should be a dad. I love dad jokes. I forgot this side of the shadow here, but that's also pretty not that exciting. So I am drawing standing up today, yes. Thank you very much, gaming. I love that you enjoy it. That is so nice to hear. DM, sorry I missed it. Thank you very much. Have some sleep, of course. I'm so thankful that you dropped by. See you next time. So we also need this side actually a bit clearer because we will draw around it when we draw the face, the shadow on the forehead. So we need to define everything that has contact with the forehead too. So a little bit more premature lines here have to be more or less final. We will be able to draw over it, of course, but it's nice to have a certain degree of finality in those lines. Yeah, so I always tend to have in the beginning such like some locks in the beginning when I draw a line. I always have at the ending and at the beginning such like a hook. I'm not very good at drawing round lines. I do the same with hair. That is definitely not good, because if you have in the beginning you draw a little hook at the beginning or the end of your hair, it looks strange. It's not good. But for some reason my hand likes to do that. So we will draw that part later. The metal. I think we will first go for the face. And the forehead is extremely bright, so we don't have to shade a lot there. So we will move on directly to the sides. As always, I like to start with this harder pencil, but also as always, I won't go full dark with it because it covers too much of the paper. And then the other pencils I will be using to get it even darker cannot stick anymore to the paper. And this is also not really a black. It doesn't. I like pencils. I have pencils that are not really gray, but directly pretty black. It's just, it looks like, I don't know, it sounds weird, but I perceive this one, for example, which I normally use, which I use a lot, and I will be using shortly. Again, it is called black, and that has a reason. It looks like, as I said, it sounds weird when I explain it like I see it, but it doesn't look like you're drawing gray. It looks like you are drawing black, but a lighter shade of it. It is dumb, I know, but perhaps you can understand what I mean. It's like a lighter shade of red, just for black. I will show you in a second, but I will start with drawing in these shadows first and shading these shadows first, because the shadow is not hard. Almost never you have a really hard shadow. I was talking about hard shadows, and they are pretty hard here, but they still have a little bit of on the fringes. There is a small area where it goes from light to dark. You don't have that cut. So I am making sure that I have kind of that effect by starting with a lighter one and then draw the really hard shadow on top of it. Yeah, and I think I will do it for the whole face. I think it is, if I take the time for that, I think that's good. I think that will benefit the picture. So we will do that because I think we have the time. This will be pretty quickly. We might not finish all the metal parts in the stream, which is, I think, not that important and not that exciting. I'm not even sure that I will draw very clear, meticulously, perfectly these metal tubes here, even after the stream, but we definitely don't need it in the stream. So here I have to be careful because we have really light areas here. So I was thinking, if you have seen my videos, I was thinking about how if I should go with the gray paper and the black and white pencils, because it could also be interesting. Because here now I have a lot to shade, because I have to get it to this certain kind of gray. The paper would have done that for me, and I would have smaller areas that I can draw on with the white one. But in the end I decided to go with the regular white paper. I'm still not sure that that was the right decision, but I feel like it might get even more interesting to shade the gray, and it is something I haven't done yet, so not a big new thing that I have never done, but still going this dark on so many areas, it is also interesting to see how it works out with the regular white paper. Could be very interesting. I haven't gone that dark, I think, yet. I have gone a little bit darker in the what's his name, in the Flash one. I wasn't that happy with it, so I hope this will be better. Perhaps I should have gone with the smoother paper though. That could have been interesting. But we will be doing it now with this one. So the way I'm building it up now is more like you would be drawing with colors, actually. So I will not just have one path. I will draw with watercolor, for example. You would draw like this. You would just go in with one color first, and then or with one brightness, pretty light, and then you would start to add the darker shades on there over the lighter ones. So that is more or less exactly what I'm doing here. I won't be as consequent as you have to be with watercolors. I'll probably switch to going pretty black on top of this pretty soon. But we will start with one general coat of gray. One of the reasons actually because I am Tisha, welcome. Thank you very much for joining. How are you today? Thank you very much for dropping by. I hope it will be amazing. So, yeah, where were I? I was talking about something. Anyway, how great were the original movies? Or the original movie? Let's say it like that. There was a third movie we like to forget, don't we? But They were pretty amazing. I think they are more or less also the movies that showed us and also the producers that superhero movies is something that can work if you do it right. If you take the time, if you give the characters the time to develop and try to go at it with a seriousness that wasn't seen, I think, before that. And it also touched with the mutant themes. It also touched a lot of interesting topics. And it hit the heart for some people with standing out, not fitting in, stuff like that. Yeah, today we are all very quiet. I do that, Cameron. Thank you very much for lurking. The chat is pretty quiet. I try to fill the silence, but I'm open for questions. Does anybody have an opinion for X-Men or the picture, or does anybody have questions? I mean, in general, this is always an AMA stream anyway, so feel free to ask away. If I can answer, I will. I think now we will go darker. Not completely dark, but darker. I'm just going quickly over here to sharpen. I am here. Don't worry, I won't leave you. I've just moved it over there so I don't have all the remnants of the sharpening all around and endangering the picture. Tell me stuff, people. How is the weather where you are? Is anybody in the US? Did anybody have issues with that terrible snowstorm? Or are you all safe? I hope you are all safe. You see, this is directly some kind of not gray. It is a light black. If you understand what I mean. It is. I think it is different from a normal pencil that you use, and that is a good thing in this case. We actually have the first really beautiful spring days here. It will change, of course, directly for the weekend again. On Friday it would start raining, and it will rain, I think, through the weekend. But until then we are supposed to have pretty nice, pretty cool sunny weather. Ticha, you had a snowstorm, but then melted my storm on. Oh, that's evil. The poor snowman. I'm not a cold person. I would make a snowman if I wouldn't just hate the cold so much, especially on my hands. I'm so sad that we don't have, you know, those a car with a heating steering wheel. I really would need that. But you can't have everything, can you? So we're not binary anymore. We were binary before. I'm using this pencil, but we are not really full color black and white yet. So I am still, I have white, I have this gray, and I have a darker gray. So we have more or less three colors. We will only start with gradual shadows now in the area that I am starting in here, but it's in the end it is because I'm not 100% sure how to come to the result that I want. We have very sharp shadow here, and I think we will be concentrating on certain areas. This area first and get that more or less finalized, like I always like you always do. You put it in boxes. I was talking about that also in the last Iraq D, Ikra D. I'm sorry. Thank you very much for joining. How are you? If you have something that you don't really know how to approach it, always just compartmentalize it. I was talking about that with the Ultron because it comes directly with compartmentalization. You have those face plates, those areas in the face of Ultron, and they come out of the box and they help you with how to approach the face. You can just draw a faceplate after faceplate. You don't have that in faces, but you still can say, okay, we are now concentrating on this area. It's more or less the same thing if you've ever drawn with a grid, where you try to get the proportions right by drawing a grid and first drawing the other shapes in that grid and then that grid. It's the same principle, but just without an actual grid. You just have it in your head, or it's you're doing it in splotches, not in boxes. If you know what I mean. So we have the shadow should go up until here, so we actually don't have this light going up here, and this line will go a little bit lower. And then we have, how long does it usually take you to finish an artwork? So this, I haven't answered. Why are you reacting with oh whoa? For this I will be using this stream. So 2 hours, and with pre and 3 hours, I would say. So let us see. This is not perfect, not at all. Yeah, it is actually pretty quick, to be frank. I try to be quick because I don't have that much time to finish one piece, and I'm also I could do it over several weeks or something, but I am very impatient with my art. So let us continue. We have the eyebrows are very light. There's not much color left anymore. They are pretty gray, and that makes them pretty hard to draw actually. We will see how we will approach them, and I will see how I approach the area around them. We will see pretty soon. Thank you very much, gaming, and thank you for saying that, Tisha. So, but everyone has to start somewhere, right? I mean, feel free to forward my channel, you know? I actually liked it before I started with this pencil, and I don't like it anymore that much now. But that is probably just, you know, like with letting your hair grow out, there are stages where your hair just looks really bad, but you know what you're doing it for, and you're trying to reach that hairstyle. At the end, as fast as possible. You have to go through bad haircuts before you can have the hairstyle you actually want. So it's the same sometimes with drawings, where in between you have moments that you won't like it, but that's just the way it is. And in the end result it hopefully will look much better. Rayans, welcome, hello. I don't have a sketchbook. Tisha, I don't have a sketchbook. I am right now only drawing on, you mean the paper I'm working on. It is a pretty thick, wait, let me show you. Here. There's actually a German one. I'm not sure if you can get it somewhere else. It is 190 gram. Just it's not a sketchbook like that. It is just I don't know how do you call it, or do you still call it sketchbook? It could be a sketchbook. You don't call it sketchbook in German, so I'm not sure. It could also be just sketchbook in English. Thank you very much, Ryan. Thank you so much. My voice is great. Thank you so much. That is so nice of you to say. We have to draw a couple of shadows here. So I think I will actually plunge in it now and just draw the first real hard shadow. I mean, we can't erase this pencil anymore, you know. So we will just go all in, because this will be about the darkest we will go. Anyway, so let me check again that I have the right music playing. I had non-rights free, perfect. I had non-rights free music playing once in the background. That was a pain to get all of that out so that YouTube stopped complaining about non-rights free music. So, how are you, Rayans? How are you today? So, it is a bit. I wanted to Somebody in the comments gave me the very good tip to use, instead of a paper as a smudge guard, I'm falling. Instead of a paper, to use a foil, you know, something to look through, a see-through film, which is a very good idea if you are drawing so other people can watch you draw, so people can continue to watch the stuff. I haven't gotten one yet, but I will. I'm using the paper for now. I think you're laughing with me, my friend. I'm always laughing with you, never about you. You're fed up with the lockdown. I can understand that, but the end is near, right? We have the what it means near. It's still a bit away, but we have the you know, the inoculation. What's the English word? I don't remember. So it will get back to the nicer level, I would think. But it is true. There are a lot of birthdays which are quite sad, especially kids' birthdays. It's not nice for the kids. It's also not great for the kids that are born right now or were born earlier last year, having less people to interact with, less new things to see, to experience. Yeah, it will be. We will feel that in a lot of areas for a long time still. Far into the future. So, right, that's true. Don't forget to, you know, I have a button for that. I have a button for that, so you can see my dog. My dog stretches his head and tells us to subscribe and like. So I will switch back to the. I really hate it right now, but that is normal. I think it looks very strange because those shadows do not fit to the rest of the shadows. But we now have something like a compass that helps us decide how dark we will go in other areas. So the structure of the paper helps us a little bit with the wrinkles that we have in his face. We don't have to draw every single wrinkle because the structure of the paper supplies us with a certain wrinkly structure out of the box, which is a good thing. But still there are a couple of wrinkles, very dark ones, or general other some that help us with conveying really the age of who we are drawing, and the structure of the texture is the better word. The texture of the skin, you know. I should write some stuff that I explained down so I can explain it in the voiceover again for the time-lapse video. I'm sometimes struggling with filling that commentary, not remembering what I was talking about. I could rewatch the video, but who has the time? So, let's continue. I'm not sure if I will like this. Right now I'm really Not sure if this gets anywhere how I was imagining that it would be. So we'll see. I'm struggling a little bit right now. So we have this side of the face. There, more light. Thank you, Lainey. I'm not that sure. I'm not that sure yet how it will turn out. I am absolutely not sure. But you will see. We will see where we will end up with this journey. So we have a very dark shadow next to the nose here. We will go in with my dark stone again here, just to emphasize that area. And then again, try to match it. Not always looking at chat, I'm sorry. If I miss sometimes stuff from the chat, but sometimes I have to concentrate a bit too much. Everybody is complimenting each other in the chat. That's nice. That's a good, wholesome atmosphere. That's what I like to see. So, Karma, you have never told me why are you telling other people your name and you don't tell me your name? Haven't you told me I should call you Games or something? Karma. That is a beautiful name. And I've asked several times for your name. It gets better. It looks pretty interesting. There is I don't know names of people who draw comics, but there is a comic draw style I've seen a couple of times that I really enjoy, which looks a little bit like this. So I might approach comic style. So let's get a little bit of three-dimensionality into the nose. So we'll pre-draw this shadow a bit again so I can hit it better with the dark stone, because we have also a very dark area here. I want to take the dark stone. The nostrils actually are not that dark on this one. They are often also very dark, almost black areas in faces. Not so here, because we are looking very straight on them. Hey Bob, welcome. Have you already said that you're here? I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for watching. No movie night tonight? Or will you leave soon for movie night? Along the ways that you're using to get the 3D shapes. Thank you very much. Yeah, as I said, it is. It reminds me of a comic book style right now. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of the comic. There is a very famous comic book run, a story, a specific one that I don't find the name right now, which is using this style that I am somehow mimicking without even knowing it. I think it's pretty interesting. We are approaching again a time in the creation process that I enjoy the picture again, and that's a good thing. I prefer to enjoy my work. I'm not sure how it is with you guys, but I am happy when I am happy. I feel like there's still a big variance in how my pictures turn out, not only in quality, but also in style. And I'm not sure if that is a good thing. On the one hand, I would like to have some kind of signature style. It is difficult when you draw pictures, if you try to draw pictures as realistically as possible. That is anyway an issue, to have your signature style, because you want to have realistic as your style, but there are certain artists that manage to do that. I follow one on Instagram that is using white and black on gray paper, and you always, I by now recognize if it is him, if that's a picture of him that I am seeing in my feed. So I don't do that. And on the one hand, if the picture is frozen, why does nobody tell me? The picture is frozen, guys. Does somebody tell me? No. Hello, David. Welcome. The picture is frozen. Let me see. I hope it wasn't frozen for too long. Should be back. We should be back in business. Everybody loves each other. That's nice to see. I feel a little bit ignored, but as long as you guys are happy, I'm here to make you happy. I will just concentrate on my picture. I will just draw. You guys love each other. That is important. Hello, David. Yeah, exactly right. So my face cam was fine, but the drawing not so much. So I don't exactly know how much was lost now. I hope not too much. But well, that wasn't so important things, I think, that we missed in the... We'll see when I make the time lapse. So, mouth. We'll be approaching the mouth from the top. And my head hasn't been so much in the picture yet, so I don't want to say too soon, but I'm keeping my head out of the camera very well today, I have to say to myself. Normally my head tries to get center stage. I spoke to you several times, but you just ignored me. I'm so sorry. I'm just so sorry, Bob. I'm sorry. I am trying to do my best here, and I was also not very happy in between, so I was a bit concentrated here. So I don't want to ignore anybody, and I hope you won't ignore me. So after all, you're visiting me, so I think the chances of you ignoring me are pretty low. So normally with my coffee I would say another, but I think it's late enough, so we don't want to. I want to sleep, right? You're watching my every move. That's why we are here. It sounds a bit creepy, but it's what we're here for, right? So, by the way, if you are new to my channel, let me give you a little slideshow. I was talking about that this is not necessarily exactly my style. I'm varying, not worrying, I'm not worrying so much, but I'm varying my style lately a little bit. Trying stuff left and right. I'm not sure if I will settle somewhere. I should draw some eyes on the cap, so when it appears, there's just a smiley face. I should produce my... You know that is actually a very cool idea for merchandise, right? If I ever have merchandise, I will have on my merchandise cap some eyes here, and only people that are... that know. It's like an inside joke with you guys. And I will wear one of those then. You have the best ideas, Bob. The coffee is here, but it is gone, more or less. Thank you very much, Lainey. Have fun with the editing. I hope it will be more fun episodes now that you can edit. So... I'm pretty happy with that side of the face. So we probably have to move on and give the right side of the face a little love. By the way, we need here, we can forget this area. Sometimes I'm very prone to forgetting a couple of areas normally, and this is one of those where probably if I don't fix it now, I will actually not fix it up until the end or even after. So let's go in there a little bit, at least, so we have a little bit of polish in that area. So paying my all attention. No, you talk to each other in the chat. It's totally fine. I was just noticing. I was just making a joke. I'm not good at jokes, apparently, so don't feel bad, please. So I have to go to the movies, so going all lurky McLurkerson. Thank you very much, Bob. I appreciate you being here. Have fun with the movie. Are you going to the movie or is it a home movie? Are you watching it at home? Thank you very much, Lee, for saying that. It gets an interesting flavor, doesn't it? So we have to still watch the nose a lot. It looks very interesting right now with that very white blotch of nose. I will probably try to do a little bit more detail in there though, on the edges, let the shadows bleed a little bit in. But right now I think actually it looks pretty cool. So okay, Ryan, thank you very much. So I like the name Ryan, by the way. I'm not even sure I'm saying it right, but it's very interesting. You know, there are not a lot of names, overused names with not that many characters, and Rayan is one of those. I'm not sure where you are coming from. I don't know if that's a usual name or if it is a name you invented, but I haven't heard that at all, so I think it's a really cool name. So now we also have a couple of wrinkles that we have to draw very clearly. We can't do everything just with shading. There are a couple of lines that we have to add to show the age of our subject. It's a real name? Oh, cool. That is cool. I hope you like it too. I don't like my own, or I come to terms with my real name. I have come to terms, but a long time I didn't like it at all. So I hope you like your name, because it would be a waste if not, because it's such a beautiful name. Yeah, I got that earlier. I try to not assume a gender. And I can very good imagine the name Rayan to be a girl's name. So I would not have assumed a name, gender on basis of your name. I think it doesn't really sound that masculine. But it could also be a boy's name if you don't know it. Where does the name come from? Is it Korean or something? I don't remember right now. I get that, but I'm sure they don't mean it in a bad way. It's just always people are assuming. I notice it. My own gender bias. I notice it also when I watch drawings or when I write comments. A friend of mine is also doing somebody I met via YouTube, and they have also a channel, and they draw a lot of animals. She draws a lot of animals, and I always say, oh, he's so cute or something if there's a wolf or an owl or something, or she. So I really notice that I am genderizing animals in a certain way, which I also don't think is good. Not because it's morally bad or something, but it's just I don't know. It's just strange. Why is a wolf when I see one automatically a he for me, for example, or a fox? I don't know. That is, yeah, it is a unique name, and you like your name. That's perfect. Yeah, that's good. Enjoy it. Enjoy it when they get confused. So we have to get a little bit more detail into the shadows in terms of different shades. So I'm happy with everyone that lurks, because I really have trouble to get my view time together. You know, those famous 4,000 hours with 4-minute videos is difficult. So live streams help a lot with that, but it's still a struggle. I have my name reveal actually reserved for the 1000 sub mark. I will draw a self-portrait when I get 1000 subs. So if you want to know my real name, you can help by forwarding my channel to friends and family. I'm not that far away from 1000, and I thought it would be an interesting way to. It's not really. My name is not really secret. In terms of, I don't. It's not like I don't want to reveal my name, but I haven't done so for a long time now, and I thought it would be fun if I would do it purposefully now with the video. Your comments under my videos, or what do you mean? Or right now here in chat. I'm very happy when I can chat with somebody during drawing, because just sitting here and talking about how and what I draw for 2 hours, I run out of stuff to tell people. Because I don't want to repeat myself too much. There's some things I always say during my live streams when I'm drawing, but I don't want to repeat myself too much. Yeah, you have to wait. I'm sorry. So we will use a bit more dark stone for the mouth, because it is a very dark line, and also the black stone pencil has a certain quality blackness to it that I really enjoy. So we will edit it a little bit more, so that we have a really harsh darkness here. We'll probably even add in the end a little bit more of the dark areas with the black stone, going a little bit more over the top, even if it's not that dark in the original picture there, so we get a little bit more of that nice dark contrast. I'm a sucker for contrast. That's one of the things I always say, how important I think contrast is in pictures. Karma is still here. I now know your name, I won't forget it. We're talking sketching. I don't think it is that difficult. For me, it is not that difficult, because I am a very instinctual drawer, so I don't really think that much about what I draw. You know, my hands do the work, and I don't really. Sometimes I take a step back and think about and what could be a better approach, or what should I draw first. But most of the time, my hands do all of the most work. For me, drawing is very relaxing. I let my mind wander. I don't think too much about I don't think at all about single strokes or something. That is all that's all the work of my hands, not my head. So my head is free to talk. So that is for me really not that big of an issue. Sometimes I get a bit more quiet. Sometimes I need to think about the picture or what I'm drawing and how I'm drawing it. But most of the time, my head is free to talk. Well, we can all learn from each other. There's certainly stuff that you are better in than I am. I'm also a bit of a one-trick pony. Of course, when you can draw faces, you can also shade other things. But furs, for example, I'm very bad at fur. I tried recently, without camera, to draw again an animal, and I'm just not good at it. I don't feel comfortable with what I do there to draw something that I would be using on my channel. I hope I would get there, but for now that is not something I like to do. So stuff like that, for example, I have still to learn, or landscapes. I don't draw landscapes at all. Or with colors, everything with colors. Stuff I have to learn. But we are all on our journey. It is a journey to learn to draw, to learn to paint, and everybody is on his own way, and you just have to continue walking it. And I'm pretty sure that I'm older than you, so don't worry about it. Well, I can't talk or sing while I play the guitar. It's just probably something that you learn. I think if you draw enough, that will also come. Then the shading, when the shading is just something that your hands have learned how to do, you don't need that much brain anymore, and then it becomes easier. So I think it's probably also just something that you train. You wouldn't have to say it that way, Ryan. I'm a lot older than you. That's not a nice thing to say. You could have been a little bit less honest about that. In year 8 now, okay. When you are, I'm a lot older. I can say that. You cannot say that. I can say that. The picture is frozen again. That's not good. Wait. Oh, I need to get. I will be right back. Take a look at my beautiful, beautiful animals. I will need a power bank, or the camera will be gone in a second. Let's take a break. Okay, I'm back. So, okay. I have no idea why the energy of my camera went so quickly. I hope it will be better now, and I hope it will hold up. It would be bad if the camera fails. But we should be safe now. Okay, so we have the, I'm not sure, are there names for these skin flaps on the neck? Let me see. We have these shadows, they are also very dark, and we will draw them in as very dark shadows because that also helps us with contrast. But if you have any questions, Ryan, if you have any questions at all, just ask, you know, that's what I'm here for. I also know that it is not easy to even find questions if you ask for questions, so don't worry about it. But if you have anything, you can also just drop a comment on the video or something. So thank you very much, Karma. Thank you for saying that. I am doing my best over here, and I think it is not half bad. So how long are we going for now? We're not that long in, so we're making great progress. Aren't we? So I like the level of detail we are in yet. We could actually go a little bit more sophisticated with the shading, but I like the look of it now already. It is a bit more stylized. It is not the 100% go for maximum similarity, for maximum realism. It is a bit more of a stylized look, but it suits it quite well, or it is interesting. It's a bit more interesting than my regular total realism approach, the try of total realism at least. So what you're doing is very difficult to me to do, even if I'm not asking any questions. I'm doing kid stuff, and there are a lot of people that can already learn from what you do, Rain. So that is totally good, and I think it's a very good thing. That's more or less also what I'm doing. I started this again after I had stopped to draw for over 10 years. So I hadn't touched a pencil for drawing for quite a long time, and I started this channel to really explore and build on that again. And I'm also here for learning. I have seen some channels out there that call themselves, I don't know, I don't remember that name, but that was a very strange channel where you had really the most basic of pictures, and they were calling themselves perfect art or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. And that I wouldn't do. Don't ever say you're something that you're not. I would never say that I'm perfect, or that I am very good or something. I'm on my own journey and I want to learn. I'm not doing this. I'm honestly not doing this to teach anybody. I'm doing this to document and to expand my own horizon. And I'm very happy if others can take something from my work and grow themselves with it. As I said, you can learn from anybody. That's also not just something about drawings. That is something everywhere in life. If you have a boss that you don't like, you will still be able to learn from them. And if it's only stuff you do not want to do, like they do. But you can always learn something from anybody. And so I think it's a very good way if you embrace that and continue your learning path by documenting also your videos, because that can also be very fun if you have your channel for a year or something. And some people then do these, redraw stuff they have drawn in the beginning, and then you can make a video out of that. And that's a lot of fun stuff you can do with that. Yeah. Thank you very much, Karma. So, but we need a bit more depth. There is a complete between layer, very dark. I have light and I have this gray, and there are a couple of additional gray layers that I have to add still, so this gets a little bit more three-dimensionality. But in general, I enjoy where this is going. Much more than it is pretty similar to what happened with my, I don't have it right now here, I would show it to you, to my flesh. It has a bit of that feel, but for some reason my flesh, the flesh was a little bit of a mishmash between very delicate strokes and these more rough shadings, and it didn't work that well. And it works pretty nicely with this one. So we're getting actually to a level where I would say the face is pretty done. Not in terms of really complete, but we have a first version of the face from which we can go in and improve and look really for areas where we want to add a bit of detail or a bit of light shadow play. Or where to specifically increase the contrast. But we have a first draft of the whole face. and where we can already see where the journey is bringing us, and that we have a certain similarity, and I'm always happy when I see that. He looks asleep though. Yeah, he does. Thank you, Liana. Yeah, I have to add a little bit more of the... He is actually not that strained in this picture. There are more strained pictures. He's not in pain here. He's concentrating. He's not in pain. There are other pictures where he looks a bit more... but you're right. We need more wrinkles about the eyes, which show what he is doing. That he is not sleeping. But I think we will first go for ears, for example, and let me think. Though we still need this is very important though. I want actually go in here with the dark stone a little bit. To get it to a darkness and a fear of darkness that is a bit more substantial. So it's almost a bit too dark now. You have to be careful that it doesn't look like it's a smudge. That it still looks like it is a shadow. And right now it is bordering smudge territory. Thank you, Ray, and also if you cannot hear me anymore, I will bow. So, nose, as I said in the beginning, we have to put a little bit of shadow, but we will actually use this pencil because we will, otherwise I've told it the anecdote from the Flash that my two approaches clashed a little bit and it looked bit strange, so I will stay with this pencil because it is automatically has a rougher feel than the mechanical one that I like to use a lot too, but here it doesn't fit. I don't know. So just a little bit of shadow bleeding on the nose already gives it. We don't want to get it too dark, but a little bit of the shadow bleeding gives it already a little bit more of a grounded look. The nose doesn't look like something completely like something that belongs into another picture, you know. Ears. Let us draw the ears. So let me repeat it also for if anybody came in now newly. I will be starting with next week. We will be having regular Buffy streams. That means Buffy is now available on Disney Plus. You can, if you haven't watched it or if you want to rewatch it, it is available on Disney Plus. I think about everywhere. I haven't found a country where it is not available. And so everybody can watch the episodes by themselves, 2 per week. And then we will discuss on my Discord. So we will have a live stream on Fridays, and we will discuss on Wednesdays all day long about who is the MVP, the most important person of those, or a pivotal character, or somebody we just enjoy in those 2 episodes. And then we will drop that person and we will discuss the episodes. everything up until now than in the live stream. So it is a bit more of a topical approach to a live stream. So I hope you guys will come and have fun with that. And if you haven't seen Buffy, this is a perfect way to do it. And I would enjoy having you there. The link to my Discord you can find in any other video but the live videos. So if you go into a time-lapse video of mine, for example the Ultron one I released on Monday, down there you have a link tree where you find all the links to my social media accounts, like Twitter, but also the Instagram account. But also you find the link to the Discord. I think also this Liana will help on the forehead, the lines might also help with him not looking as relaxed anymore. So it's always going to be Buffy now. I don't hope so. I really don't hope so. It will not. I have control over it, and I will not. I have never stated that it will be a democratic decision on who to draw. And I won't be drawing Buffy for every Friday for I don't know how many months, 7 months or how long that will take to watch all the episodes. No. The veto. There has to be a Glory, for example, without spoiling now too much, but it is a 25-year-old series. I think we are allowed to say names. There has to be a Spike. There has to be a Drusilla. I'm really looking forward to them, but I also hope that I will find suitable pictures for them. If somebody is considering watching that, so we can pour a little more hate on the HD version that is on Disney Plus right now, though we will have to discuss that again and again to just tell people that who are watching for the very first time that it is actually worth it to look if you can somewhere find a cheap version of the SD version, because it is actually the surprise the superior version, because the people who were creating that HD version just took the original transfer, the original material from the original cameras it was filmed with, and just converted it into a video file and used that. So it does all the work that went into the original series, how you can see it on DVD, for example. All of that work got lost. So they have color graded it a lot. There is a signature look to Buffy in the darkness, quite a blue one. And for example, that is missing in a lot of scenes now. Also, the first seasons were filmed in 4:3, which a lot of you won't remember anymore. Or I haven't experienced as a valid format when the TVs were really 4:3 format. And they just took the wider format and just put it into a video file. Because you have episodes where you can see the whole camera crew on the side of the picture, and nobody cared in the HD transfer. So it is really not the perfect way to watch Buffy. If you have never seen it, you could be still try to get the SD version. It is the definite version. So Spike needs to be in season 6, so he can be in more than one season. Buffy will be there probably a couple of times, so it's we will draw some of them more than once, and we will try to get them in then significant poses for those episodes. It will be interesting. We will see. We will see. And the good thing is, even if nobody else is coming, I know that Liana, you will always help me with the Buffy things and be at my side. Perhaps not in every stream, but at least I will not have to decide by myself everything. So, ear. I should finally put some efforts into the ears. We are here with the ear. I think I will go I like it very much. I don't want to put too much effort into the metal things now to get them to take away attention from the face. And also I'm afraid that I don't nail it in too much detail and it will look strange and I will ruin the rest of the picture. So we will draw the ears and then we will think a little bit about how to approach and even how much we will approach the metal parts. Also, ears don't always get the same love of me that the rest of the face gets. I kind of think of ears like not that important in portraits. So up here sometimes you see that. So I should try to not get done too fast with them, but on the other side, I have to make sure that you see the contour at least. I think that's fine. Don't hate on me. Can I post links in here? Because as bad as you are making it sound, it is actually even worse. You mean the video. I think it is really enough if you post it on the Discord, because people who are here and will not come to the Discord, I think they are not really interested in getting more information that I'm talking about it. So I think it's for the stream it is fine. But I think you have already posted it in the Discord, right? And I think I will also post something still in some of the channels on the Discord, just so that I am sure that everybody has read that. And if there are really people that are seeing it for the first time, and I know a couple of them will be, that they are warned that it really is the inferior version. Although I have to say, I will enjoy watching it in HD still, and HD, it's called HD version, and it is somehow also an HD version, but it is not even 720p resolution in all instances. So it is not even that HD. It's not like crystal clear quality or something. Perhaps the later episodes. Probably the later episodes are better. But I've just looked, I really just glanced into the first episode and it's not that high quality. Okay, so I think all in all, sometimes I put in a clear black line as a contrast line. We have something behind here. We will be working on that also, but I will use the mechanical pencil a little bit to not a dark line, but show a little bit of a more defined line around the face. We'll probably have a black line here anyway, but so for now we already have a more defined line that shows us, that divides face from background. Okay, so yeah, it's already on Discord, right? Welcome back, Ryan. I'm not sure, you probably have not seen Buffy yet. I was just telling how we will be starting now with a Buffy stream every Friday. Starting next week will be a Buffy stream. Buffy is now available on Disney Plus and it is an amazing series, although it is now 25 years old. But we will be watching 2 episodes each week, so everyone can watch that on their own, and then we will discuss or decide on the Discord before the stream who we will be drawing, who I will be drawing, and then we will discuss the episode and our feelings about it on the live stream. So if you haven't seen that and if you want to, that is a very good chance now to do it. You can watch it with other people at the same time, not together. I don't want to do watch parties or something on the Discord because you have always the copyright issues and stuff like that that come right with it. So we start with the helmet. The helmet is the hair in this case, in some regard, isn't it? It is actually, the area here, the shadow on here is not pitch black. I'm thinking about drawing it. I will draw it with the darkstone now to have more contrast, even if this is a little bit of faked contrast. I will not go all in with the darkstone now, but it is it will help with the contrast, though we have to be careful with those reflections on here. Let me center this again a little bit. It's better for the time-lapse later that we have it a little bit centered. That's why I'm moving it around a lot. We have the reflections here, which we cannot draw over with the darkstone. That would be very bad. We also have here a lighter line that is a light reflection on the edge. You will not be able to close your eyes? What do you mean? I don't remember what I've said about that. So let us draw some shadows. Okay, but we have the side coming again, this round reflections we need in here. So now we have on this round bowl. We have this is a part where I will be a bit quieter because I really have to be careful not to draw something dark where there shouldn't be, and trace for a certain degree at least, the correct shape of the shadow, even if it is not important to get the light that is reflected perfect, because it's the only time you see it. It wouldn't look strangely, could be any light, but still, if you get it as close as possible to the real reflection, you know that it is grounded in something that is real and has a certain realism in it. That helps with your... I am babbling again. I hope you understand what I mean. Okay, so we have that. Define the bowl a little bit more. Up here it actually bleeds, the light bleeds completely into, more or less completely. There's a very light gray here, but the rest is just so light, full of light, overly bright, that you lose completely all the details in there. So let us think. Prasanna, welcome. Thank you very much for joining the live stream. This is where we are at now, and I am pretty happy. We are now more or less finished with the face, at least our first go at it, and now we are looking at the cerebral helmet to get it to a little bit more detail. I'm not sure if we will finish it in stream, but we would want to have a little bit of a feel of where this is going. And I think I want to have that black contrasty outline here, but for that we will need clearly defined edge of the helmet, so we don't draw over any light areas that we want. And so we have to do that first. Try to get this right here. Depending on what I'm drawing, what I'm saying is making less and less sense, because my mind works together with my hands and my mouth doesn't get any resources from my mind, and just things pour out, you know. So here we have some kind, probably this is something like cloth or something in there, that it doesn't hurt too much on his head. It's like a, I don't find the word right now. So here we have also very bright reflection. Thank you very much, Carmen. Thank you, Rain. It is getting some character, isn't it? That's something, I think, how I can describe it very well, what I mean with this style. It has a lot of character. It isn't just like a photocopy approach, photocopy try of the original picture. So we also need, because it is before the head, we need those funny little tube thingies. I think we are approaching head danger again, and that my head is visiting you guys. So let me stand up again and try to find a way to draw those tube thingies. We don't have to draw them all the way now. We only need the first part. And this already is not really right, because it is really bright up there. It is more or less white. So we should not have any detail in there actually. Thank you, Karma. So let me try to show more of the face that is done already. So I think somebody is here that hasn't seen it yet. So it is actually pretty easy to get this shiny 3D effect on this tube. It is more or less 3 colors you're talking about, and with a coarse pencil the blending happens on its own here. So you have the really white here, which also is, let's just do it right now. We will erase this here because you do not even have that line visible at all, because it is just overly bright in that area. So you don't need that. So you have white, you have gray, and you have a darker gray in the middle. So just with those 3 tubes and a little bit of a contrast line on the outside even, and just with those few lines you get a pretty decent metal effect. We will go a bit darker there, but we also have, as you can probably see, you see it a little bit smaller than I do, so I don't always note, you cannot see all the details, but you have on the tube this ridges, and I want them in here, so I will not ignore them. I would like to ignore them because they bring in a certain complexity, but I won't ignore them. So we also have to make sure that we have those ridges in there, and they actually give you also visually the end of the tube. So that's the only way you actually see that there is an end to the tube on the upper side. And already I'm not really happy with how I managed to do them. But this one would probably need a bit more of a twist in there. But well, I think without them it would not be the same. So, but here again, I should not have drawn it that dark. It is lighter on the upper side. We try to erase it a little bit, but we won't be able to erase it that much, so that is also not ideal now. But honestly, if you do not look at the original side by side with it, it will not be that very visible. So let's just cut me a little slack there. Yes, still live, Cameron. I am normally looking for 2 hours. We have about 10 minutes left. And I want to be more or less finished with the picture. It will not be completely finished, I can already say that. But the general idea should be clear. So, and for that I want to add a little bit more of those helmet contraptions. You know. So that we know how this will look in the end. On this side it is a bit more difficult than I described how the tube looks on the right side, because we have a light part. Let me twist it also for myself, because this does not look like I want it to yet. Let me get a little bit more care in there. You have a lighter area also in between, and that is always a bit more difficult. So you have a lighter line that divides the two darker lines. But yeah, it should work like this. And then we have Sunday Sketches. Thank you very much for dropping by, and thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. I am pretty happy now with it. I was again already in a state where I was thinking, nah, I don't think that will be good, but I'm happy with it now. In this case also, I think the ridges are a bit too near to each other. Then more than they are in the original, but that is also not something that anybody really will notice. Just need to have them more or less in the same distance on both sides, as long as it is you can understand it is what do you say in English? As long as it is you are doing it consequently in the same distance, it is completely fine. So now we have that. Now we can put in the pretty dark shadow behind the head in the helmet, because that will also give us again a little bit more life. So I've drawn everything that is in front of the helmet, because we are going in very dark. We would not be able to put those highlights again in there of the metal tubes that are crossing the helmet if we would just go in with the darkness of the helmet before that. So now that we have taken care of that, can go in with dark shadow. We'll do that with the dark stone because there is not a lot of detail in that shadow. So we do not have to consider too much detail, so we can go with the very coarse nature of the dark stone. And I think that contrast looks pretty nice. Go watch a film. Thank you very much for watching, Lainey and Lee. We are about to close it up anyway, so we just continue that shadow in the whole helmet, and then we are done for the stream. I will see if I make those tubings afterwards, or how much of the tubing I will put in afterwards anyway, so there will not be too much that you miss. Thank you very much for staying for so long. See you soon, guys. So we will, this is a lot lighter, but we will stay with the darkstone pencil here and just not use it as dark, because it's just the same feel, and those pens come with a certain character, and it would look differently if I would switch the pen here. Also, we need to make sure that it is still visible that we have an edge. We do more or less the same over here, just mirrored. So, and then we can... Thank you very much, Lee. Thank you for saying that. I am glad that you like it, and I am glad that I like it. That's not always the case. So, get darkness in here. Certain uniformity here. A little bit darker at the head, though. Here we have that a lot darker at the head. Make sure that still light. Oh, that's good. And I should get the picture of the camera a little bit too far down. You don't see the whole picture. Have here a very dark streak on the ear, but here it gets a lot lighter. I say a lot lighter, and I don't go that much lighter. But we'll try to get it a little bit lighter with the eraser. But even if that does not work, as long as you don't see it, together with the original, won't be that noticeable. Okay, and then we have, of course, this down here. This is an edge in an area where I normally tend to forget it sometimes, and it is there, and I don't shade it, but quite important because of symmetry reasons. So good. I think this is pretty decent. So I fear there will be a couple of things that I will have to add to make it a complete picture, really. So we have the suit. I will have to add the knot of the tie. I have not considered that yet, so something like that. It's not that complicated, also not that complicated to shade, but to have this really complete, and it deserves it, I think, because it looks really pretty neat. I will have to add the suit more than I normally do. So this area here to show that it is a suit, the shadows on there, the tubing, but it also, I don't think it is so exciting to watch it anyway in a live stream. So Artis Manues, thank you very much. Great of you to join me, but we are about to close the stream actually, so I'm just talking a little bit again about what I will still have to do. I might even go in there and draw the background really dark. I have a little bit of my blackstone, my first blackstone still here, that I can't use for a lot of things anymore. It is very short by now. I might use it for the background here. So yeah, I think it is pretty cool. It will actually take a bit longer still than I normally would do after a stream. I probably will need almost a complete stream time for finishing it, but I think it is not very exciting work I have to do to watch. So you will be able to see everything that I'm still adding on in the time-lapse on Monday. We will have a sketching. Thank you very much for your full support. We will see the on Friday is the next live stream with another picture that I draw, and for that you will have a time-lapse version then available next Thursday. Yeah, so that is the plan. This is where we finish it right now. I thank you all very much for joining me today, Rayan, for staying with me all the time, asking questions and discussing with me. Thank you very much. I hope you will be also here on Friday. I enjoyed it very much. I love you all, guys. Thank you very much for being with me, spending your time with me, your valuable time. I hope I will be seeing you in the next stream. If you want to see more up until then, there are a lot of portraits already on my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.